Hello gang, welcome back to our survival guide in the Long Dark. Today we're going to be discussing how to hunt the venerable moose. Now, regardless of whether you have any hunting experience or not in the Long Dark to date, hunting the moose is an entirely different ballgame compared to a lot of the different creatures. You need to approach the moose similarly as you would the bear. Very dangerous creature. It's not to be trifled with out of spite or just because you feel like it. This is something you have to want to do, and you need to be very careful about going about it. So the first things you need to do, of course, is to find your moose, but once you do, make sure you're in an area where he can't see you. Now the second thing to keep in mind is what weapon are you going to use. If you've seen our weapons discussion guideline, you'll know some of the basic differences between the weapons, but sometimes when it comes to things like this, there can be a better weapon. In this case, the rifle is certainly the better weapon compared to the bow. However, both will work for hunting the moose. The moose will take, without any critical one-shot hits, at least 3 shots, give or take, oftentimes more than 3, depending on your situation, to bring down. Now the best way to approach the moose is with caution and stealth, as I am right now. He's not somebody you just want to go about blindly. Now, as you can see, he probably can't see me right now. And that completely whiffed. Terribly whiffed. So we're just going to let him run out on the ice and he'll come his way back. Anyway, but you see I'm on this tree. He probably can't get to me up here. I mean, it's not a very high tree, but it's high enough for our purposes. Can't believe I missed that shot. Anyway, so rifle versus bow, either one will function. One thing you can do that can help is to get as close to the moose as you dare. You have some time to back away once he notices you without him charging you. And you'll notice that as we approach him, he'll probably sense us. Maybe a little bit closer. He'll drop his head when he does see us, like that. Come on, notice us. There he is. See, he noticed us. You can back away and crouch, then line up your shot. And see, every time you shoot him like this, he has that moment of where he's stunned. Now you do have to be careful when doing this without shooting him like this, without having somewhere super safe to run to. Because he can chase you down if you go after him like this. But using stealth like this works way better when hunting the moose, and that's why the rifle is the preferred tool when going after the moose like this. A bear can sometimes even still come after you even if he didn't notice your original position when you shoot him. The moose, he won't. He'll just straight up run away from you once you shoot him like this. Now even with critical hits, because you still can land critical hits that won't one-shot kill, it's going to take a lot of patience in hunting the moose. You can also utilize things like this tree branch and other forms of cover, depending on the location you're hunting the moose at. Every location is different. Currently, to date, the hardest location I found to hunt the moose is in Hushed River Valley. The easiest one for me so far has been in Coastal Highway. Each location that you can find the moose at has a difference in where the terrain is set up and how you can access getting near the moose. Oh, just under his legs. Wasn't high enough. But using things like this tree, you can get close enough to properly hunt the moose. Of course, it helps if you can actually hit your shots. You can also utilize stealth to get relatively close to your moose, or the method of where he notices you and then backing up. You notice he's not seeing me yet. Now he's seeing me, so you just back away and crouch. He doesn't see you now, and you can take a shot. Oh, again, just too low. Wow, I'm really bad at these longer shots. That's why it takes time and practice with the bow to be good with it. I'm really good at using the bow close up for things like charging bears and wolves and stuff, but I've not been super good with the bow at long ranges like this. It's not my forte. And that's why the rifle is usually a far preferred weapon when dealing with the moose. Because you don't have to worry about missing your shots as much as you do with the bow. We'll see if we can't lure him over here again and probably take another shot at him. Well, wait guys, it's gonna be a problem. Could be difficult. I could take a long shot from here. Anyway, when hunting the moose, of course, the primary thing to keep in mind is your safety. And he heard me. Because broken ribs make it incredibly hard to do anything in the game. Due to your reduced stamina, carry weight, everything else. That was a shot. And he felt that one, but see, now I can crouch, he doesn't see me. And every time you shoot the moose without him knowing where you are like this, he'll do that stagger thing that he did. He'll stop and be hurt for a second. Now, using that with the rifle, you can chain shots into him. The bow is far harder to do that with to maintain your stealth profile. And obviously, the moose, one thing that's very, well, it's not obvious, but one thing that's very different with the moose compared to other animals is the lack of bleed out. Moose do not bleed out, unlike bears, wolves, deer, and rabbits, although typically everything just one shot kills a rabbit. They don't bleed out. You have to kill them by brute damage, which makes it incredibly hard to finish off a moose because you have to continually be putting the damage into it. And there we go, headshot and he's down. Test the ice here. Yeah, we're gonna have to go around the long way to get to him. Anyway, but continued pressure on the moose makes it far easier to deal with him. If you have... Okay, that's just wolves, we're fine. Wolves are easy enough to deal with. So with the moose, if you've been watching my Stalker series, I'll leave a card for that. You'll notice I've been having a lot of trouble with him, and that's because I've not gone about hunting him properly. I just need to find that arrow I lobbed into him. Hold a second. Oh, it's cattails. Anyway. Yeah, once you've killed your moose, if you go ahead and look at your moose, you'll have anywhere between roughly 70 pounds at the low end, so this is on the lower end, up to 90, close to 100 pounds. It comes with 12 guts and 1 hide. Now you can make a satchel, which I am carrying at the moment, and we'll show you guys. And this adds roughly 11 pounds to your carrying capacity by having a satchel. That's going to be like, what, 22 kilos, somewhere in there? I'm trying to find that arrow I lobbed into him, not that it matters too much, because... I can get it back in a minute once I harvest him. But the moose, because he doesn't bleed out, you have to continually put damage into him. So utilizing stealth and skating around him is the best way to bring the moose down. The bow is really good when dealing with the moose from a distance or from safety, like on top of that tree log over there. But it becomes far more situational in dealing with them, especially if you're not very good, like me, at hitting longer range shots, which makes the rifle the better tool for bringing the moose down. They are dangerous, keep that in mind, and their detection radius isn't too large, so you can get relatively close to them. They are a wonderful kill to get. They'll set you up with food, especially if you utilize the starving method for months on end, at least several weeks, depending on how you eat. And their hide is useful for either making a moose hide cloak or the moose hide satchel. I feel like, my personal opinion, the moose hide's cloak needs a bit of a buff to be useful, but that's just my opinion. Anyway, I hope this has helped you learn on how to hunt the moose. If you've noticed again when he stumbled after the first several good hits I got into him, you can continually chain shots into him. You can shoot him, drop your rifle, pull the next cartridge into it, and shoot the moose again before he has a chance to run. And in so doing, you can keep him kind of in a stun lock until he's dead. The bow, it's a little bit harder to do that because of the time it takes from loosing a shot to getting a new shot lined up and loosing it again. So I hope that helps you with the moose. Top 3 things to keep in mind are utilize stealth. If you're playing interloper and don't have a rifle at your disposal, or you just want to take the harder challenge of using a bow, keep in mind you're going to need to utilize longer range shots unless you're at level 5 archery and can fire from crouched. And utilizing your terrain to your advantage, and the fact that you can keep a moose stun locked and that he does not bleed out. You will have to kill him outright. He will never bleed out. I hope that's helped you with your journey in the long dark. Hunting a moose is a bit daunting at first, but once you begin to get the hang of it, it becomes far easier, and they are very, very worth the time and investment. Even if you do get mauled once or twice by them, they're still very much worth the investment to get, not just for that meat, but especially those guts and that hide. Anyway, I have been Lonely Wolf. I hope this guide has helped you. If it has, go ahead and leave a comment, or go ahead and like and subscribe if you aren't already. Consider sharing this video as well, and I will see you guys further on down the series, or if you're just starting this series here, there'll be a card up in the upper right for the entire playlist, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Stay safe and stay warm out there.